Al Kadosh Boker or Bekiim Bahalacha 3, day 24, Siman Zayin, page 45, Halacha Yod. Okay? Hasovel me'atzirut. If a person right now is suffering because he's constipated, so he comes and he takes a certain type of medicine, right, in order to come and to make his bowels become loose, right? He still has to come and make the bracha b'asher yatzar. That means even though he's going to the washroom every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, doesn't matter. He's going to come and he's going to make asher yatzar. Yeah, he comes and he says the same halacha would apply if he's drinking a medicine that causes to urinate frequently, right? Fuzid. Right? He comes and he says that it shouldn't be. Okay, fine. So he says, right? Again, also he has to make a bracha every single time. However, though, right, that was to do with constipation, and then he used the laxative in order that he would be able to defecate a few times a day. However, though, what happens if he's got, right? If he took this mishalshel, meaning he wasn't constipated, right? He just he just took this thing, right? Like he ate 1,000,000 prunes, yeah? And then what happens? He's got a very, very strong diarrhea. So he says, one after another, he's only going to make one bracha at the end. Because as long as he didn't stop from doing his necessities, he doesn't make a bracha. Because he never finished. Not only that, not even to the Torah. So one more time, there's going to be a difference between whether the person is constipated and therefore will look at the sama mishalshel in order to come and to open up his mouth, that he would make a bracha, or a person is normal and Stam he just took it, right, and he's doing a diet. The new diet is he drinks all these things and then everything just continues going. No, there he does not make it until the end. 314, when using laxative, the response halacha kutanot, he ruled that if someone uses laxative and therefore defecates multiple times, must say the bracha b'asher yatzar only once. After he feels he no longer need to defecate. This can be compared to somebody who's ill and begins to recuperate. He does not say the bracha gomel until he's completely cured. The shamata, lo shamata. One more time. When a person is sick, right? When does he do a gomel? Only when he's completely cured. Not when he's a little bit better, right? Huh? That's in order to say that gomel. Nothing to do with what we're talking about. One more time. A person is chayav a gomel. When a person is chayav a gomel, automatically it's either, right, he's going to be cholesh shel shayamim, or if he has a surgery. Many times, right, he will come and he will do it even for a surgery. Right? Also, they will do it, even if it's not shel shayamim. This is likewise the ruling of Rav Shimon Zalman Auerbach, right? Rav Zalman, sorry. Right? He says, explaining that as long as the person feels that he will need to eliminate, right, another time, he should not yet say the bracha b'asher yatzar. The Aron stated that it is necessary to say the bracha each time one eliminates. He says, he argued this ruling is impractical, for one cannot know which will be the final time that he's going to the washroom. Rav Chida testified that the custom follows the ruling to recite the bracha after every single time. And that's the testimony of the Kiseliyahu, the Shem Netzibur, Rahaim Falache, right, the Menat Mayim, right, and therefore that's what's also accepted. And therefore we do not say Safek Berachot, Leakel, Umiu, לפעמים כשאדם מצטנן, גם אחר הטלה מהעין יש לו הרגשה שבמהרה יצטרך לשירותים שוב. So some people, they have this thing, and all of a sudden, they feel that they have to go to the washroom right away. ואין זו חשובה הרגשה, it's not a real הרגשה. כי רק מחמת הצטננות, it's only because they were sick. נגרם לו דלקת בדרכי השתן, so he's got a דלקת in דרכי השתן, he's got this urination tract infection, and therefore, really באמת, that means he feels he has to urinate. He doesn't really need to urinate. It's only just because he's got a cold. Since he's got the cold, right, that's why he's ill. So that's why he feels like that. So therefore, in such a case, right, he says, he has to make a bracha every single time. Okay? הלכה י"א. השותה משקאות חריפים ודבר גורם לו שיצטרך להתפנות לעתים קרובות. מברך אשר יצר אחר כל פעם. If a person is going to come and he's going to, right, drink alcoholic beverages, we know a lot of people that they do that here, right? They're machminim on that. And then what happens is that they have to say Asher Yatzar after they come and they make their necessities. Yod Bet says Choleh, yeah, Hamatil Maim Pa'amim Rabot Uvekem Gadol. Person sick, so he's going to be urinating, right? He's got kidney stones or whatever it is. So it's very right. It's very right. He says here, he's still going to make Asher Yatzar. Why? Because the kidney stones, it hurts a lot. I remember the kidney stones are going straight through through the urinal tract and go right out there, right? Out of the male organ. So it hurts, it burns, it kills. Yeah, they say that much it's like what's it called? It's like giving birth, right? So they come and they say, so what happens is that again, even if it's going to become a drop, he would still need to do it. Look in the footnote, acute diarrhea. Rav Moshe ben Chaviv added that if someone suffers, right, he says, if someone is suffering, right, from acute diarrhea, and he needs to eliminate multiple times, one after another, he must not say the bracha until he feels that his bowels have come to rest. Until then, it is considered one long episode of elimination, of getting rid of something, right? Everyone knows what lichasel is elimination, right? So he says, the Sharet Teshuvah agree with this, adding that it is impossible to say the bracha, and earlier since it's forbidden to say even to do the Torah. And that's the ruling also the Mishnah Berurah and the Kaf HaChaim Sofer. 315 comes and it says, so we're talking about their alcoholic beverages. So he says, we do not follow the halachot tanot. Therefore, when someone needs to relieve himself multiple times because he drank strong alcoholic beverages, he has to do the bracha every single time. Look at Yosef and Elachai, who argue that even though the halachot tanot agrees in this case. The response he says that someone suggested to him that if a person suffers from kidney stones, he should not say the bracha v'asher yatzar at all. How could he bless HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Right? He says the questioner argued that when each person, right, each episode of urinating gives him absurdity and pain, he says this person, the need to urinate is a curse, meaning usually to urinate is a bracha, the blessing. He relieves himself. Here it's a curse, right? Because mamash, it kills him. So Shlomo Kloger, he replied that the blessing of Hashem Yatzar was instituted so that we will recognize the great wisdom of HaKadosh Baruch Hu created in bodies. The fact that a person produces his urine and expels it is a great wonder. It's vital for every human being. Although this particular person suffers when he's urinating, he still needs to thank Hashem for he has a kidney which is functioning, urinating normally. But Tzitz Eliezer said in an earlier authority that Rav Eliezer Nachum will the same ruling. Shulchan Aruch also ruled someone suffers from kidney stones, therefore units every few minutes. He still says a Yatzar every single time, no matter how little. This ruling applies, of course, only if the person does not still feel the need to urinate anymore at the time. If someone urinates a few drops, but he feels he still needs to urinate, right? He says he must not recite the blessing of Yatzar until he no longer feels to urinate whatsoever. Okay? The last halacha, v'chen hamatil. He says, one second. Yeah, go, take. He says, hamatil ma'im be'emtzaut klei kateter. He says a catheter, right? So imagine a person has a packed catheter and he's taking out the liquids through there. That means every time that he feels that he finished, he has to again make the bracha, right? But if he doesn't, he says the bracha every single time that he sees, right, that in the klei zuchrit it spots, right? And then he says, but his upper clothing have to be clean and there cannot be a bad smell, obviously, bad odor. So it says in the 317, the Piskei Teshuvot cited poskim, that people that fit with a catheter, he should say the bracha v'asher yatzar upon waking up every single morning, or whenever the catheter is removed and reinstated, inserted. So they took it off, they put it back in, he has to make a bracha. This ruling follows the opinion of Ashkenaz poskim who ruled that it's possible to say the bracha v'asher yatzar even several hours after leaving oneself. Sephardic Jews, however, is hold that it's only 72 minutes, and therefore, unless the person knows that you're within the last 72 minutes, he may not say the bracha. But Rishon LeZion also ruled that a person fitted with the catheter may recite Shema, pray, and recite other blessings as well. He's allowed to wear talit and tefillin as long as the outer garments are clean and no odor exudes from the body, right, or the receptacle he is